The desert wind howls, carrying whispers of ancient secrets across sun-baked sands. A lone figure stands against a sky ablaze with an unnatural light, not of the sun, but of fire. Chariots of fire, horses of fire, a whirlwind tearing at the very fabric of reality. And then he is gone, vanished, ascended. This is the story of Elijah, the prophet of old, taken to the heavens in a spectacle of divine power. Or so the story goes. For centuries, this biblical account has been etched into the collective consciousness, a testament to faith, a miracle beyond human comprehension. But what if the miracle wasn't in the fiery ascent itself, but in what it truly represented? What if the story we've been told is merely a veil, concealing a truth far more profound, far more unsettling and infinitely more liberating? Imagine for a moment that everything you've been taught about life, death, and the divine is a carefully constructed narrative designed to keep you from a deeper, more potent reality. This isn't just about questioning ancient texts, it's about questioning the very nature of existence, the boundaries of what we perceive as possible. The tale of Elijah, the prophet who never tasted death, is not just a historical anomaly. It is a profound philosophical statement, a hidden key to unlocking the greatest mysteries of our being. What if Elijah's immortality wasn't a divine favor, but a blueprint for a state of consciousness accessible to all who dare to seek true knowledge? This isn't a journey into dusty theological debates. It's an invitation to peer behind the curtain of reality, to confront the hidden forces that shape our world, and to discover the spark of the divine within ourselves. The traditional narrative paints Elijah as a powerful prophet, a man of God who challenged kings and false idols, ultimately rewarded with an extraordinary departure from the mortal coil. He stood against the prophets of Baal, called down fire from heaven, and brought rain to a parched land. His story is one of unwavering faith and divine intervention. But within the ancient whispers of Gnostic traditions, a different Elijah emerges. Not just a prophet, but an archetype, a symbol of the soul's journey, a guide to the hidden knowledge, or gnosis, that promises liberation from the illusions of this world. The fiery chariot in this light isn't a literal vehicle, but a powerful metaphor for a profound spiritual transformation, an elevation of consciousness that transcends the physical limitations of the body. It's a wait what moment for anyone steeped in conventional religious thought. This hidden world, the realm of Gnostic understanding, operates on principles often at odds with mainstream dogma. Here, salvation isn't achieved through blind faith or adherence to external laws, but through direct, experiential knowledge of the divine within. The rules of this world are not dictated by external authority, but by the internal compass of truth. The universe, as we perceive it, is often seen as an imperfect creation, a prison of matter crafted by a lesser, often ignorant deity, the demiurge. But within each human being lies a divine spark, a fragment of the true, ultimate God, the Dios Pleroma. Elijah in this context becomes a beacon, a living testament to the possibility of reuniting with that divine source, of escaping the confines of the material world through gnosis. His ascent, therefore, is not an escape from death, but an escape from the illusion of death, a demonstration of the soul's inherent immortality when it awakens to its true nature. So why should we embark on this journey? Why should we delve into these ancient, often controversial interpretations of a figure like Elijah? Because in a world increasingly defined by manufactured truths, by the relentless pursuit of superficiality, and by a pervasive sense of spiritual emptiness, the quest for genuine knowledge has never been more urgent. The story of Elijah, when viewed through the Gnostic lens, offers not just historical insight, but a radical path to personal liberation. It challenges us to look beyond the surface, to question the narratives that bind us, and to discover the profound power that lies dormant within. This isn't just about understanding a prophet from millennia ago. It's about understanding ourselves, our potential, and our place in a universe far more mysterious and magnificent than we've ever been led to believe. This is a call to adventure, not into distant lands, but into the depths of our own consciousness, guided by the enduring enigma of the prophet who never died. The journey has just begun, and the secrets of Elijah are waiting to be unveiled. The desert wind, which once carried whispers, now beckons us deeper into the labyrinth of forgotten knowledge. Our journey into the true nature of Elijah is not a linear path through historical records, but an inner quest, a descent into the esoteric currents that flow beneath the surface of conventional understanding. To truly grasp the Gnostic Elijah, we must venture beyond the familiar pages of the Old Testament and explore the hidden libraries of the soul, where lost texts and sacred sites whisper of a reality far more complex than we've been led to believe. This is where the real work begins, sifting through layers of dogma, challenging preconceived notions, and allowing the mind to embrace possibilities that once seemed heretical. Our quest begins with the very texts that hint at Elijah's enduring presence. Beyond the canonical scriptures, ancient manuscripts, often suppressed or hidden, offer tantalizing clues. Consider the Apocalypse of Elijah, a fascinating apocryphal work that portrays Elijah not merely as a historical figure, but as a cosmic prophet, a guardian of divine secrets, and a key player in the end times. This text, rediscovered among the Nag Hammadi Library and other ancient collections, paints a picture of Elijah as a figure who transcends the boundaries of time and space, a spiritual entity whose influence extends far beyond a single historical moment. It's a stark contrast to the Sunday school version, suggesting a continuity of consciousness, a spiritual lineage that defies the simple narrative of a prophet taken to heaven. This isn't just about finding new words, it's about finding new worlds within those words. Along this inner journey, we encounter transformative figures, not just historical personages, but the very concepts that define Gnostic thought. We meet the Demiurge, the blind, arrogant creator god of this material world, who believes himself to be the one true God, unaware of the higher pleroma, the true divine fullness. This is the cosmic stage upon which Elijah's drama unfolds. His defiance of earthly kings and false gods like Baal can be seen as a symbolic struggle against the very forces of the Demiurge, the powers that seek to keep humanity enslaved in ignorance. Then there is the Pleroma, the realm of pure light and truth, the source from which our divine spark originates. Elijah's ascent in this context becomes a symbolic return to the Pleroma, a demonstration of the soul's capacity to break free from the Demiurge's dominion and reunite with its true divine source. But this quest is not without its obstacles. The first and most formidable is doubt itself, the ingrained skepticism that arises when confronting ideas that challenge our foundational beliefs. The very notion of a demiurge can be unsettling, forcing us to question the benevolence of the Creator we've been taught to revere. Then there's the opposition from established institutions, those who have historically suppressed Gnostic teachings, labeling them as heresy. The burning of libraries, the persecution of mystics, the deliberate erasure of alternative narratives, these are the historical dangers that have always shadowed the path of forbidden knowledge. Yet it is precisely this opposition that often validates the power of the truth being sought. If these ideas were truly meaningless, why would so much effort be expended to bury them? As we delve deeper, the Gnostic concepts begin to illuminate Elijah's story with startling clarity. His fiery departure isn't just a miracle, it's a profound teaching on Gnosis itself. Gnosis, this direct intuitive knowledge of the divine, is the key to escaping the illusions of the material world. It's not about intellectual understanding alone, but an experiential awakening, a realization of the divine spark within. Elijah, having achieved this gnosis, transcended the limitations of the physical body, not by divine intervention as an external force, but by fully realizing his own inherent divinity. He became a living embodiment of the Pleroma, a guide for those still trapped in the Demiurge's creation. This understanding transforms Elijah from a distant biblical figure into a living symbol of human potential, a testament to the power of inner awakening. The quest continues, and with each step, the veil between worlds grows thinner, revealing a universe far more intricate and purposeful than we ever imagined. The next revelation promises to be even more profound, twisting our understanding of reality in ways we can barely conceive. The journey through ancient texts and esoteric concepts has brought us to the precipice of a profound understanding. We've peeled back layers of conventional interpretation, glimpsing the Gnostic landscape, where Elijah's story takes on a startling new dimension. Now prepare for a revelation that will not only redefine Elijah's immortality, but also challenge the very foundations of what you believe about life, death, and the nature of your own existence. This is the moment where the scattered pieces of the puzzle begin to snap into place, revealing a picture far more intricate and revolutionary than any biblical scholar dared to imagine. The major plot twist lies in the very nature of Elijah's immortality. What if Elijah didn't just not die, but rather he achieved a state of being where death, as we understand it, simply ceased to apply to him? The fiery chariot, the whirlwind, these weren't merely vehicles for a physical ascent, but symbolic, representations of a complete spiritual metamorphosis. Elijah transcended the limitations of the physical body, not through a miraculous intervention from an external deity, but through the full realization of his own inherent divine nature, his gnosis. His immortality is not an exception to the rule of death, but a demonstration of the soul's capacity to evolve beyond the demiurge's material prison. He didn't escape death. He outgrew it. This is a wait what moment that recontextualizes every funeral, every eulogy, every fear of the unknown. This understanding creates unexpected connections that ripple through history and spirituality. Consider the figure of John the Baptist. The New Testament explicitly states that John came in the spirit and power of Elijah. For centuries, this has been interpreted as a spiritual succession, a passing of the prophetic mantle. But through a Gnostic lens, this takes on a far more literal and profound meaning, a continuation of consciousness, a form of spiritual reincarnation or transmigration of the soul. If Elijah achieved a state of being beyond physical death, then his spirit and power could indeed manifest again, not as a mere echo but as a direct continuation of his enlightened consciousness. This suggests a lineage of Gnostic masters, individuals who, having achieved gnosis, continue to guide humanity, perhaps appearing in different forms throughout history, subtly influencing the course of spiritual evolution. This revelation, however, brings with it a complex moral conflict. If death is not an absolute end, but a transition that can be transcended through gnosis, what does this imply for those who remain bound by the illusion of mortality? It challenges the very concept of salvation through external means, placing the onus of liberation squarely on the individual's pursuit of knowledge and inner transformation. It forces us to confront the ethical dilemmas of a world where fundamental truths have been obscured, where dogmas have been built upon misunderstandings, and where the path to true freedom has been deliberately hidden. The responsibility of this knowledge is immense, to seek it, to understand it, and to share it, even in the face of established authority that might deem it heretical. As this tension escalates, the stakes become incredibly high. If Elijah's story is a blueprint for transcending death through gnosis, then the implications for humanity are monumental. It suggests that the true purpose of human existence is not merely to live and die, but to awaken to our divine potential, to reclaim our connection to the pleroma. This knowledge is not just intellectually stimulating, it is existentially transformative. It threatens the very structures of power, religious, political, and social, that thrive on control, fear, and the suppression of individual enlightenment. The idea that each person holds the key to their own liberation, that they can become like Elijah, is a dangerous one for those who benefit from keeping humanity in spiritual bondage. The tension builds as we realize that this isn't just about ancient history, it's about our present, our future, and the ultimate freedom of the human spirit. The stage is set for the ultimate confrontation, where the deepest truths about Elijah and ourselves will finally be revealed. We have journeyed through the veils of conventional understanding, navigated the labyrinth of hidden texts, and confronted the startling revelation of Elijah's true immortality. Now, we stand at the precipice of the ultimate truth, a moment of profound confrontation that will challenge not only what you believe about Elijah, but what you believe about yourself. This is the climax, where all the threads converge and the deepest secrets of existence are laid bare. It is a moment of reckoning, where the acquired knowledge demands an existential response. The final confrontation is not with an external antagonist, but with the very concept of ultimate truth itself, embodied by Elijah. If Elijah truly transcended death through gnosis, then his existence becomes a living testament to the potential inherent within every human being. He is not merely a historical figure, but a mirror reflecting our own dormant divinity. The confrontation is with our own ignorance, our own limitations, and the deeply ingrained fear of embracing a truth that shatters comfortable illusions. It is the moment we realize that the antagonist has always been the collective unconsciousness, the demiurge's pervasive influence, and our own reluctance to seek the light within. This is the ultimate red pill moment, where the choice is laid bare. Remain in blissful ignorance or face the overwhelming reality of your own power. The maximum revelation is this: Elijah's immortality is not an exclusive gift, but a universal potential. His fiery ascent was not a singular miracle, but a symbolic demonstration of the soul's capacity to achieve a state of consciousness that transcends the physical realm. It is the ultimate expression of gnosis, the direct, experiential knowledge of one's divine origin and inherent connection to the pleroma. This means that the spirit and power of Elijah is not something that can only be inherited by a chosen few, but a state of being that can be cultivated by anyone who embarks on the path of self-discovery and spiritual awakening. The true Elijah is the awakened consciousness within each of us, waiting to be ignited. This revelation is mind-blowing, turning centuries of religious dogma on its head and placing the power of salvation squarely within the individual. This profound discovery inevitably triggers an existential crisis. If Elijah achieved this state, and if this potential resides within us, then what does that mean for our lives, our choices, our fears, and our perceived limitations? The knowledge acquired is not merely intellectual, it is deeply personal and demands a re-evaluation of everything. How do we reconcile the fleeting nature of our physical existence with the eternal potential of our spiritual essence? How do we live in a world governed by the demiurge's rules, knowing that a higher reality awaits? This crisis forces a deep introspection, a confrontation with the uncomfortable truth that we may have been living far below our true potential, shackled by beliefs that are not our own. It's a moment of profound vulnerability, but also immense opportunity. This leads to the moment of choice, a decision that defines the future not just for the individual, but potentially for humanity. Will we dismiss this Gnostic interpretation of Elijah as mere heresy, a fascinating but ultimately irrelevant historical curiosity? Or will we embrace it as a call to action, a blueprint for our own spiritual evolution? The choice is to either remain tethered to the illusions of the material world, or to embark on our own quest for gnosis, to cultivate the spirit and power of Elijah within ourselves. This decision isn't about joining a new religion, it's about reclaiming our inherent divinity, about stepping into a state of being where the fear of death dissolves and the true purpose of life unfolds. The climax leaves us not with answers, but with a profound question. What will you do with this knowledge? The stage is set for the transformation, but the first step must be taken by you. We have journeyed through the ancient sands, peered into forgotten texts, and confronted the startling truth of Elijah's enduring presence. The climax left us with a profound choice, an existential crossroads. Now, as we enter the final act, we explore the resolution of this epic narrative, not as a definitive end, but as a new beginning. The transformation is not just about Elijah, it's about us, and how this ancient Gnostic wisdom can reshape our understanding of reality and our place within it. The resolution of Elijah's story, through the Gnostic lens, is that his non-death is a powerful metaphor for the triumph of consciousness over the limitations of the material world. He didn't escape death, he transcended it by achieving a state of gnosis, a direct experiential knowledge of his divine origin. This knowledge changed everything for him, allowing him to operate beyond the confines of physical existence. For us, this means that the true immortality isn't about living forever in a physical body, but about awakening to the eternal nature of our own consciousness, the divine spark that connects us to the pleroma. This understanding liberates us from the fear of death, transforming it from an end into a transition, a doorway to a higher state of being. It's a profound shift in perspective that redefines the very purpose of life. The contemporary impact of this Gnostic understanding of Elijah is immense. In an age of unprecedented technological advancement, where artificial intelligence blurs the lines between consciousness and computation, and virtual realities offer seductive escapes, the quest for authentic self-knowledge has never been more critical. The Gnostic Elijah offers a counter-narrative to the prevailing materialism, reminding us that true liberation comes not from external achievements or technological progress, but from inner awakening. It resonates deeply with modern spiritual movements, mindfulness practices, and the growing disillusionment with traditional institutions. The idea of an inner truth that can set us free, of questioning authority and seeking personal experience over dogma, aligns perfectly with the American spirit of individualism and the ongoing pursuit of freedom. It connects to the Matrix archetype, where the world we perceive is merely a construct, and true freedom lies in seeing beyond the illusion. Yet, questions remain, inviting continued reflection. If Elijah still walks the earth, where is he? Is he a physical presence, a spiritual guide, or a collective archetype that manifests in moments of profound spiritual awakening? The answer, perhaps, is all of the above, and none of the above. The beauty of Gnostic thought is its emphasis on personal experience and interpretation. The question isn't where Elijah is, but where you will find him. Perhaps he is found in the quiet moments of meditation, in the sudden flash of insight, in the courage to question the status quo, or in the compassionate act that recognizes the divine spark in another. The journey of Gnosis is deeply personal, and the answers are often found within, not without. This leads us to a powerful call to action. What can the viewer do with this knowledge? The first step is to embrace intellectual curiosity and challenge preconceived notions. Explore the ancient texts, delve into the philosophy of Gnosticism, and engage in practices that foster self-awareness and inner connection. Question the narratives that bind you, whether they come from religious institutions, political ideologies, or societal expectations. Seek your own gnosis, your own direct experience of truth. The spirit and power of Elijah is not a distant ideal, but a potential waiting to be activated within you. This is not about converting to a new religion, but about embarking on a personal journey of transformation, becoming a beacon of light in a world often shrouded in shadows. The impact of this narrative is designed to be deeply emotional and intellectually stimulating. It aims to leave the viewer with a sense of wonder, a desire for deeper exploration, and a profound shift in perspective. The final revelation is that Elijah's story is not just history, it is a living blueprint for human potential. It suggests that the true non-death is the awakening of the soul, the realization of our eternal connection to the divine. This is not the end of the story, but an invitation to join the ongoing quest to become part of the lineage of those who seek and embody Gnosis. The journey continues, and the greatest mystery of all awaits, the discovery of the Elijah within.